All right, so this morning we woke up and we were put on evacuation alert. Weirdly enough, today it seems a lot better than what it was yesterday. You can't smell the smoke as much. There's obviously still smoke and the fire's burning, but with the evacuation alert, the fire is actually just they're concerned about the winds coming in here and changing directions. We're expecting some higher gusts of winds this afternoon here, which is going to lead them to, I think, put us on the evacuation alert. The fire is now growing to 64 hectares. It started at 0.5 when we first were aware of it, then 32, and then it doubled. So that was the last, I think, report at 11 o'clock last night. We're about 9 o'clock in the morning here and that next day. So this morning we got put on evacuation alert. We were taking the kids down. One's going to daycare, the other's going to the grandparents that's not in the evacuation things, and we took the dog out. So we're just starting to get prepared for some of the stuff if we do have to go. We also packed bins with the stuff that you need the personal stuff you can't replace, documents, kids stuff, blankets, kids babies blankets, that sort of things we can't replace. So that was our morning really for it. So it's about 9 o'clock, we're good to go. So we're just going to be kind of business as usual, I guess, until we get any further notice. We're going to keep a watch of it. You can kind of see from the back there, and I'm going to fly my drone here a little bit just to see if we can get some bird eye view. But the blue sky, there's actually blue sky today, which is kind of crazy. Being, yesterday it was completely gray and you could smell it. But, sometimes I guess if it depends on the winds and, maybe if the winds do change. Can't see the lake yet, or still you can't see the lake. Normally we have a lake view from our house, but let me show you it here. But now it's kind of gray there. But you can see up there some blue skies there. So talking to the neighbors, they're a little bit somber. I'm trying to remain positive during this, and I keep the family, energy and that sort of thing. But talking to one of the neighbors, she was quite somber this morning, kind of thing, with it, what are we going to do and that sort of thing. And yeah, so, it's just putting everything into perspective. It's, knowing, it's not, there's always the saying, you don't know what you got until it's gone. There's also, the saying is like, you don't know what you got and what you want until you have to take it with you and leave everything else behind. So that's kind of the situation and decision making we're getting into in this moment is what's important to us. What do we need in the future? The TVs, the devices and that sort of thing, doesn't mean a whole lot. It has monetary value, but at the end of the day, stuff we're taking is, the baby blankets and, documents and, some of the kids stuff that we can't replace there. So it just puts life in perspective a little bit. So hopefully you can translate this to non-wildfire season as well, especially in the business we're in. We kind of get caught up in the day to day and we try and do what we can. And having the toys is fun and that sort of thing. But when you put it into perspective, what are we taking with us? It's accumulating like 1 or 2 bins. We let the kids pack a bin, which is maybe a mistake because they sure know how to pack. But anyways, so that's where it is. We'll keep you updated through this whole process here. Right now, as we're on evacuation alert. Yesterday we were fine. Today, evacuation alert. So keep you updated.
Well, last night, lucky for us, but the winds, pushed it. The fires I had last night, yesterday was right up there. Lucky for us, the winds pushed just the way the winds were prevailing, and it pushed it away from us. So we're very lucky. But it is still somber because we had family friends, very close friends that lost their house yesterday, and it's on the news and everything like that. Could have easily been us. Luckily, hopefully, everybody I've heard of, everybody's safe and everybody got out. But structures, their house was lost, and their house. If you're watching Global and a lot of in Traders Cove, the fire burned down there. That image you're seeing of that property lighting up was likely their house. So I've been on the phone all morning here. That's 8:30. Just trying to find some accommodations for these guys because got 3 different clients in Traders Cove, and likely they all lost their homes and then their neighbors, and You know, so we're just trying to help out where we can. Even a horse riding ranch where Maddie rides out of, and she volunteers her time there, they had to evacuate and their ranch is gone. So I think in that situation, all the animals were saved except for the pigs. So thoughts, you know, it's just really going out to them. Broken Rail Ranch. Everybody's going through difficult times here. So we're gonna hopefully help some people out and stay safe.
All right, so that's how fast things can change. We're about 140 now. The winds have changed directions now. You can see the smoke coming up back over here, and wind is pushing the fire close to us. So we're not on evacuation order yet. However, we're the next community over. We're right on the borderline. So we're gonna be the next ones likely to be evacuated. So people are starting to leave now on our street. We got our cars packed there. Kids are already at mother and father-in-law's. So we're getting there. It's definitely the feeling right now is a somber feel. Everybody's on edge and looking out for each other. Neighbors are all banding together and helping each other out where needed. So yeah, I'll keep you updated through this, but fingers crossed, and hopefully those firefighters can get these fires under control and save people, homes. All right, so now we're getting ready to leave. The fire's getting quite a bit closer, and we can see some flames coming over the ridge. I think services right now are just overwhelmed at the moment. We're talking to a lot of neighbors, and we don't have a lot of fire bombers here because Kelowna right now is really on fire, as well as West Kelowna. So a lot of the resources are going to the heavily populated areas, which, you know, it makes sense. But we've moved the propane tanks, everything like that, away from the back of our house where the fire would come from. So hopefully, potentially save our house, but if it comes to it, it's probably not it. So anyways, stay tuned. So we just evacuated, came down to right by Two Eagles in Sage Creek here, the in-laws. So we're safe. We're still on alert and not evacuated yet. So, but man, it was a gong show. We went and filled up some gas. Gas ran out. There's a pretty big lineup. Brought something. We came back to get something really meant a lot to Maddie, my wife. And still not on an order. Sun's about to set here. Thunderstorm is planning for tonight, but you can see the orange moon gonna turn red there. So fingers crossed we're not on evacuation order yet, but we have evacuated. So it's about 9 o'clock now, 8:30. We're on our way to Big White. We're gonna stay at mother and father-in-law's place, but the evacuation order got moved right to the highway, and we're just outside that zone. So just so we could have maybe a little bit rest. I don't know how many hours we're going to sleep regardless, but a little bit more rest, not knowing, you know, knowing that we didn't have to move again. We're just decided to go up to our cabin. Luckily we got we're blessed enough to have a cabin at Big White. So just, yeah, nothing else to say other than just a shit show of a day. So it's been a shit show for the last 24, 48 hours. Hopefully everybody's safe. You know, many structures can be saved. So all right, until next one.